What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. It's starting to feel like fall here in San Diego. It's a blisteringly cold 60 degrees today. Right now we're in the middle of trying to get all of the parts we need to put the suspension together for the Datsun. We got the shocks in the mail, or not the shocks, the springs. We're having a hard time finding an auto parts store that has the shocks for the front. You may know that we replaced the shocks in the back. Obviously we have to do the front now. We're also looking for tie rod ends, and it's not easy to find these parts, so we're going to O'Reilly's as a last resort, and if not, we have to order that shit online. We're still going to get as far as we can today with the suspension, replace everything that we can. We also ordered a master bushing kit, which should be here later today or tomorrow.
We ended up getting the wheel bearings and the ball joints for the front, so we can at least do those today, but the other stuff might have to wait to be shipped.
If we can't get that much done, we're going to take a look at the Porsche long block and make sure that we seal that up. That means putting in spark plugs, putting in the distributor. We're going to move further along on that if we can't get much done with the Datsun today. Probably not going to have shit. Hey, you think one day we'll do something about this windshield?
Nope.
No, probably not. They not have shit.
They'll have the tie rod ends by 5 today. Struts are special order, so that's a week out. Same with the differential mount, so we got to get those online.
Okay, cool. How much were the tie rod ends? Were they $1 billion? Like,
they're way cheaper here. They were only 30 bucks each. They were 79 at AutoZone.
AutoZone told us that we're gonna have to pay nearly $100 per tie rod end, and then they were a week out, which is bullshit because they just seem like normal tie rod ends.
Yeah, they're completely normal tie rod ends.
Always check multiple stores. Obviously, online is the better option, but if you need something today, sometimes stores have weird shit. Alright, we're back in the garage now, and we've actually been driving this car without a not holding the steering wheel on, so that could have just fallen off and murdered us at any point in time. So we finally did something about it.
Ah.
Oh, you are just the worst.
I know, I'm so bad at everything.
Does it work?
Yeah, it works.
Holy shit. I thought it was too small, but...
It looked too small, but that's just because it's not low profile, so it's chody.
Okay, so in addition to having suspension, the wheel also can't spontaneously fall off and...
Hooray!
Yeah, one step closer to having...
A little bit of peace of mind on the road.
Yeah. Okay, so we're actually missing quite a lot to finish the suspension. We couldn't get the shocks, so we have to get those. I ordered them. They should be here tomorrow. And this differential mount is completely trashed. This bolt is supposed to hold this whole thing to this here. That's also a special order part, which should come in tomorrow. But that's old and it's shitty and it's sheared off, so we can't finish the front because we don't have the shocks, and we can't finish the back because we don't have this mount. So we're gonna move on to the Porsche. One thing we know we need to do is pop open these caps and put some Loctite on the nuts that are on the inside. We were supposed to use these special washers, which we don't have, but people on the forums have indicated to us that blue Loctite won't hurt. What the fuck is happening to her? You cool, bro?
It's cool.
Alright, that's good.
Should probably just shift it over one side.
So we're going to take these covers off. If you didn't watch our any of our Porsche videos, these covers house the timing components, so it's cool to see what's in there. These two nuts in the corner here are the ones we're concerned about. If these vibrated off inside of this timing arrangement, you can see how that might be very catastrophic, as the inside of the engine is directly in there. They may even come off and take a nice little conveyor belt ride right into the inner workings of our motor and destroy the whole freaking thing. So little Loctite's never going to hurt. That's what we're here to do. If you're curious what's going on in here, these are your chain tensioners, and they're oil fed. So these fancy lines on the outside of your 911 engine, this specific line will feed oil to your tensioner, and The old school ones were problematic, so one of the best upgrades you can do is upgrade them to the modern oil-fed ones, and then your idle alarm, which is right behind that, is also the updated version. But pretty intricate system, but pretty robust timing. Whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Setup.
Yeah, pretty robust timing setup. Don't fuck it up. Okay, so the next two things we have to do come with two new problems. The first one being, part of sealing this up is putting in the distributor, and we were unsuccessful in finding our distributor in this huge mess of a garage. So maybe after we clean up and we get some of these projects out of here, we can do that. The other problem is we have to hook up our intake manifold, which is interesting. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The intake manifold's this crazy like 6-piece. Each one of these is its own thing, and they're attached with these little rubber connectors. And this is your air box. But what we need to do is modify this to make it so it's just the throttle body with some sort of rubber boot going to where we're going to put our intercooler. So we have to clean that up and take that apart before it goes on the car, and we need to buy a distributor now because we don't know what the hell happened to our old one. We also have an exhaust coming in the mail, which is exciting because this one's a piece of crap and it's not going to support our turbo. And when we modify the intake manifold, we start putting together the Mega Squirt and popping in those new injectors, which should be coming either tomorrow or early next week. What we do know comes tomorrow is everything we need to finish the suspension for this Datsun. So tomorrow we'll be slapping all that together and taking this for its first maybe life-threatening and terrifying test drive. Actually feels somewhat secure, but who knows, it's probably still gonna be scary. Just look at the magnitude of shit that is the front suspension in this car. So the violent shaking in the steering wheel definitely had more to do with just warped brake rotors. So we got new everything. You'll see that tomorrow. We do have an interesting way to wrap up this video, which we're gonna go ahead and start doing right now. Remember how I literally just said that we couldn't find the distributor and we're gonna have to get one of those? I just tore the garage apart because I just went to look at distributor prices. And these motherfuckers are $1,100 for like a used one in this condition, which ours is perfectly fine. We're happy that we found it because I'd love to not spend $1,100 on a distributor. Can you believe that? $1,100 on a distributor. Look at this. I thought when I looked at Pelican, oh, you know, these are just like real cool ones, like perfect. And then I went on eBay, and it's like this crappy used one is still $1,000. This brand new one's $1,500. This one that somebody found in the junkyard is still $800. This is why it takes so long to do this car.
Thank God we found that.
Yeah, Devin came home because he was buying shit. We're about to cook some food. I know you guys like when we cook food. But I texted him, I'm like, you won't believe how much that shit costs. And when he came home, I was tearing apart the garage trying to find it.
Savagely just tearing things off of shelves and throwing them all around, but we got it. We're good. We don't need to spend another grand.
Alright, because the Porsche's back, today we're going to cook some German themed bullshit. And we got some German beer. Devin thinks he knows how to make a pretzel.
Yeah, I'm going to try and make a pretzel. It's a little bit of a weird process. You make the dough, and then you make this like weird water bath with baking soda, and you got to dip the pretzel in there, and then flip it, and then put it on a baking sheet, and then cook it. So we'll see how that goes.
So that's the pretzel.
That's part of the pretzel. It's
the
pretzel's bath.
It's gonna come out of there.
It's gonna take a little bath in there. And then
I thought it was just gonna emerge from the liquid.
Rise from the water.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna start on that. We got some German beer.
With some sweet boots.
Das Boot.
Got some sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut, obviously. Unfortunately, we're not going to take on the task of rolling our own. Or these bratwurst. Yeah, we're not gonna roll our own bratwurst. So we just bought beer bratwurst. It'll be good enough. So a little bit of brat, some German pretzels, some sauerkraut, Das Boot. I think it'll be a pretty good meal.
Free Germany. knife is so sharp.
You remember that time you sliced your finger open?
Yeah.
It was your whole palm, wasn't it?
It was my palm because I was washing it like an idiot. Fire, as always.
Alright guys, that is going to wrap this one up. I know we didn't get much done, but it was one of those situations in where you try to take a step forward and you end up taking 2 steps back. We had to order more shit, but luckily everything that we order is in stock and ready to ship, and we shall have most of it tomorrow. Most interesting thing that happened to us today was the prospect of losing this Bosch alternator, which turns out to be the Distributor. Which turns out to be the most expensive distributor that I've personally ever seen. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if it's uncommon for distributors to be over $1,000, but that's the first time we ran into one that was.
Thing's pretty sweet looking though.
Yeah, it like magnetically clicks to all of the points. When we took this off, I guess we didn't expect it to be so expensive, so we didn't really like put too much thought into where we kept it. I found it in the stupidest spot, but
you know that little rolly rack that we have in all of our videos? It was just sitting on the bottom.
It was on the bottom of that. The idea probably was at the time that we were just going to replace it anyway. In terms of general maintenance, and in our experience, that's never much more or just around $100. Not the case with this Porsche 911 distributor.
Should have figured it's Porsche.
1,100. If you ever find yourself in the hands of a project such as this one, save literally everything. You have no idea what small stupid part might be worth $1,000. So that's our advice to you this time around. Devin's gonna have
that bratwurst.
The bratwurst. We're filming this immediately after the bratwurst segment. Devin's gonna go ahead and pick a winner for this video's giveaway. If you're unfamiliar with our channel, we give away products from boostedshades.com every single video. Even if you don't win, I encourage you guys to please go check out boostedshades.com. That's a way for you guys to support the build. We literally spend almost every dollar that we make at Boosted Shades on these cars, so if you want to see more content, that's a way to speed these builds up.
Alright, this video's winner is Dale D. Leo.
Okay, Dale, you can hit us up at Teamboosted at boostedtrades.com or through any of our social media platforms, and we'll get back to you and ship you your prize. If you're interested in winning the video giveaways, all you have to do is like the video if you actually liked it, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Sometimes we ask a question at the end, sometimes we don't. You can comment anything you want and you're still eligible, but you can also feel free to answer the question. This video's question: what region of the world do you think does food the best? Italian food, you know, you got your lasagnas, your pizzas, the pastas, all that bullshit. German, obviously we just did a little bit of that because the 9/11's back. You know, Asian food, there's all sorts of. American, I guess, what would that be? Burgers, but I don't even know if that's actually American. I don't know what American food would actually constitute.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah, just a bunch of shit. What region of the world do you think does food the best? You can leave that in the comments, or you can comment whatever the hell you want, and you are eligible to win this video's giveaway.
As always, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.